Anyway, we're gonna just continue, yeah. So this is the actual structure of a research paper. Okay, let me see whether there it is one. Okay, so there will be a title of the research paper. Okay, there will be a name of authors and its affiliations. Excuse me. Okay, so again, sorry. Okay, so this is the structure of a research paper. Okay, so if you look on Google Scholars and all that, okay, you can first see the title of the research paper. Okay, can you see this is the title of the research paper? Okay, then after that, you will see name of the authors and its affiliations. Okay, so name of the authors like Charalambos, okay, of University Isaac, okay, of University of British Columbia, Albert S. Dexter, University of British Columbia. So it's the name of the authors and its affiliation, where this author is affiliated to. Okay, like for me, I'm affiliated with Sunway College. Okay, so technically where you are actually working as a researcher, lecturer, or so on and so forth. Okay, so that's why it says here name of author and its affiliations. Okay, then followed by abstract. Okay, that can you see there's an abstract here. All right, after abstract you will see introduction. Okay, can you see after that is introduction? Right, after introduction you will see literature review. Okay, sometimes you might see literature review, sometimes you might not see literature review, so it depends on the article as well. Okay, so can I just wait okay, so anyway, sometimes the authors will actually put the introduction and literature review together. Some authors, they prefer to do it in a different section, so it depends on the style of the author's writing. Okay, so just remember, introduction and literature review, sometimes it is together. So introduction, normally they will write something general about topic. Literature review, they will review the past studies. Okay, then you will see method or methodology. Okay, remember last week you learned about the two types of research method, quantitative, qualitative, and actually there's a third which is called mixed method, a combination of quantitative and qualitative. So how they conducted the research. Okay, then after that they will report and analyze the findings and discussion. Okay, and then you will see conclusion, and finally you will see references. Okay, so this is a structure of the research paper. Okay, check if your answers are correct. Okay, so when it comes to the title, it is actually the topic of your study. Okay, so it comprises of two types of variable, which is the independent variable, which is change or control in the research to test the effects on the dependent variable, and also the dependent variable, which is tested and measured in a research. So there are two types of variables, the independent and the dependent variable. I'll teach you this more during research topic selection. Okay, so for example, causes and effects, right? So name of the authors and its affiliation. So first author, generally, if you look at research papers, right, you realize that somebody's name will definitely go first. Okay, they are also known as the first author. He or she is normally the main author and contributed the most, and usually this is the corresponding author. So meaning to say you submit your research paper for publication to be published into a journal article. Okay, normally the publishing house like Sage Pub or this publishing house called JSTOR, they will actually correspond with Charalambos L. Lakowu. Why? Because he is the main author. Okay, so he's the main author, he contributed the most, and he will actually be the corresponding author. Okay, so the sequence of authors is according to degree of contribution. Yeah, okay, so meaning Charalambos actually contributed the most, followed by Isaac Ben Basat, okay, followed by Albert Dexter. Okay, So this is the sequence. Okay, yep, it's back online now. Let me show you the a sample of the research, yeah, that is proper. Yeah, this is a sample of the research paper. Okay, so remember I told you just now, the title, name, abstract, introduction, literature review. You see again, the literature review. Okay, yeah, can you see literature review? This one here, introduction, this one literature review. Okay, and then you can see method. Okay, you can scroll down and you will be able to see method. Can you see method? Okay, then you will be able to see findings and discussion. You see different authors, they use different names. Okay, instead of findings they call it results. Okay, then followed by conclusion. Okay, their findings and discussion, right? So they call it results and discussion, and then they didn't call it in conclusion, they call it implications. Okay, so different authors, they will use different terminology, so you must be able to identify them. After conclusion you can see references. Okay, so yeah, so where did we stop? Introduction, right? Wait, okay, so title, can see, right? Title here. Okay, followed by name of the authors here. So Tali Heyman is the main author. He contributed the most. Okay, so now we look at abstract. Okay, it is usually in one paragraph and 120 words only. Okay, can you see this is the abstract? It is in one paragraph and it is normally 120 words. But of course, there's no limitation, can be more than that or a bit less than that. Okay, and what are the components in the abstract? The components in the abstract, okay, if you look at the abstract, if you have read this abstract, you will know that it has an introduction, the methods used, the results, and the discussion. Okay, so it's IMRAD. Okay, so if you look at the components here, it will actually give you a lot of information. All right, so normally when we look for research articles, right, we like to actually look at abstract because it gives us a lot of information. Okay, like the methods, which is really important, the results, and the discussion. Okay, followed by introduction. What do we write in introduction? Introduction is technically the background to the study. Okay, what is the background? Just a brief explanation or a brief um, brief generally you write the background of the study in a brief manner. Okay, you just talk about what is this about. Okay, then you talk about the research problem, why this is actually important, what is the significance of the study. Okay, how is this study significant to you, to everyone. Okay, and what is the purpose statement? Purpose statement is like your thesis statement. What is the purpose of your study here? And then what are you attempting to find out? So this is what these are the components or elements that will be in your introduction paragraph. Okay, so basically this is the introduction. Okay, can you see this is with advances in technology, students are finding new methods of cyberbullying. Can you see this is to address or to actually briefly just talk about the background of the study. Okay, the present of the study explored the prevalence of cyberbullying while also see this is the purpose statement. Okay, so you need to write all of these things that I showed you earlier in your introduction. Okay, now we look at literature review. Yeah, a literature review is a summary of journal article, books, and other documents that describes the past and current state of information on the topic of your research study. Okay, so if you look at literature review, right, it is a summary of past studies. That is why if you look at this, you can see different themes like prevalence and involvement in cyberbullying. Okay, you can see types of cyberbullying disabilities. Okay, so you can see it's being themed. it is organized in like a thematic manner. Okay, why? Because these are all past studies. Can you see these are all what past researchers have found out about that field, that the research, okay, about cyberbullying. Okay, Calvert, can you see? Yubara, Michelle. So all this part here, literature review, is a summary. Okay, it's technically a summary, okay, that's described the past and current state of information. So generally it is the past, let's say now it's 2020, right? You look at 10 years ago, from 2010 until 2020, what have people found out or studied about your research. Okay, so next is method. If we look at method here, okay, we can see there will be participants. Okay, who are your participants and what is the criteria and why are you picking them? Okay, so this cyberbullying here is about adolescents, right? Cyberbullying among adolescents in educational setting. Okay, so if you look at the participants, they are also adolescents in 3 middle schools. Okay, so they they are adolescents and the criteria is they should be in middle school, right? Adolescents. And why are you picking that? Because your study is about adolescents. You cannot be picking 80-year-old grandmother or 50-year-old uncle or 2-year-old child, right? So this is why the participants is very important. Next you will find is measures. Okay, instruments used, like for example interview and questionnaire. Okay, if you look at measures, okay, measure, they are actually using the cyberbullying self-report questionnaire. Okay, so it is the instruments used. How are you going to collect data? So they are using a questionnaire, okay, like this one here. Okay, followed by procedures, how the data collection was carried out. Okay, if you look at this one method here, right, generally it doesn't tell you how it was carried out. Okay, sometimes it is incorporated inside. Okay, this one here, oh, the procedure, they put participants and then procedure first before method. Okay, that is why I told you some researchers they arrange things and use different terminologies in their journal articles or research papers. Okay, so procedure, how you conducted or how you data. Okay, so how did this author collected data? So first of all, it gained approval from Ministry of Education, okay, to tell them that they are going to collect data, and then parents who choose not to allow their child to participate can do so. Okay, but the approval rate was 95%. Okay, so all these questionnaires, they distributed to the students in school during class time for 1 hour under the supervision of the researchers. Okay, students completed the questionnaire anonymously. Okay, so remember, participants, method, you will have participants, you will have measures, and you will have procedures. Okay, followed by findings and discussion. Let's look at findings and discussion. Remember I told you different authors, they have different style of writing and they use different terminologies. In this particular journal article, they were using result, they use result instead of findings. So the data analysis consists of describing trends, comparing groups, relating variables. Okay, basically you need to, in the research paper that you will be doing, you will describe every single question. Okay, but for journal articles, it cannot be too long, so it is like a summarized version. Okay, so you describe trends. Okay, what does this percentage show? Okay, comparing the groups. I don't think you will be comparing groups unless you are doing experiments or you have a control group. And then you relate variables. So what is the relationship between IV and DV? So basically this is what the finding session you will be talking about. Then discussion, summary of overall results, compact findings, interpretation. Okay, so you are going to just go through it again in a very quick and brief manner. Okay, you won't be writing all the statistics and all that already. You will be just writing an interpretation of what the statistics and the tables and the figures mean. Okay, this is for discussion. And then for conclusion, it is for you to make a final emphasis on the most important aspect of the results. Okay, some limitations, okay, constraint you face, okay, maybe timing, You need more time to actually get more participants to participate in your study. Okay, maybe you need more financial assistance so that you can cover a larger area or more participants. For example, in the past they have studies for the entire Malaysian students. So the researchers travel from Semenanjung, Malaysia, all the way to East Malaysia. Okay, so something like that. Or perhaps you wish that your study would cover a larger population. For example, you can cover teenagers, high school students, to university students, to primary students. So these are the limitations that you face, and you might want to put it in. Okay, can you see this? They have also put in limitations. The present study has some limitation. Different were not separately dealt. Okay, and the study relied exclusively on self-report questionnaire. So the questionnaire self-reported, there might be some shortage to it. Okay, so for example, maybe the students, they are lazy to answer. They didn't actually answer the questionnaire properly. They just circle and finish the story. Okay, so perhaps there can be an interview to actually find out, you know, what they truly feel and all that. Okay, so after that is future recommendation, future studies. What can they do? Okay, so future studies is you recommend to the future researchers, or for the researchers' own for the researchers taking note on behalf, okay, of other future researchers, and also for themselves. Okay, for example, can you see their future research should include students in various educational settings, compare students in different places, rural and urban places, and taking consideration to different aspects of risk and prospective aspects such as age, relationship, parent. So they want to branch their study to different places, okay, comparing different students from different social status, okay, and also to look into their age, okay, and also their relationship with their parents and other environmental factors. So future studies, they want to study about that, and they are also telling future researchers who are interested to look at this field to study all these things. Okay, so the research process, generally you will need to select a topic. Okay, then you will do your reading or literature review. Okay, you collect data using interview or questionnaire, etc. Okay, so basically for the purpose of our research paper, we will be doing a questionnaire, and then you analyze and interpret your data, where you report your findings and conclude by stating limitations and suggestion for future studies. Okay, can understand? Do you have any questions?